in some cases quite a distance, to this first ever, our inaugural Vape Business Conference, which we hope will be the first of many. Public Health England have come out officially and said that vaping is at least 95% healthier than smoking. And new research from UCL, out last month, said that smokers are almost 3 times more likely to quit by using vaping products than they are with traditional NRTs such as patches and gums.
We have a long-term vision for vape business to help businesses like yours profit from this new and exciting industry. Education for retailers will be the key element as we help to inform retailers, specialist retailers and pharmacists about their key challenges and opportunities to make vape a real success within their particular business.
So my name is Nick Sheens, I'm the head of the vaping business in JTI. So the vaping market, as you've seen before on some of the documentation for sure that has been shared with you, there's about 2 million vapers in the UK market today, and they spent in a year's total about £1 billion. So that seems like a quite decent size for a category and quite a nice profit opportunity for retailers like yourself. So obviously this creates, I think, is the reason why we're here today. Like, how do we get into this category? How do we deal with the complexity that this category brings?
I think many of the challenges that we face now are the same challenges we faced 9 years ago. But I think the convenience sector is going to be huge, purely because what's in the name, it's convenience.
There was a huge, like an exponential boom in innovation of products. And again, I think that's why moving forwards, as John says, convenience is really going to win through.
It's special marine pharmacists again, trying to understand the vape products. Is there any standardization of nicotine put in products?
Yeah, so under the TPD, any liquids containing nicotine have to be capped at 20 milligrams.
Education, and from a consumer perspective and a retail perspective, that's the absolute key here. So if you know how to talk your consumer about the product, then you have a chance of selling the product.
Good afternoon, Vince from V12 Vapes in Hounslow. I was just wondering, is there a standard guideline to expiry dates or shelf life of the products?
One bit of advice is if it doesn't have an expiry date on that product, I personally wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't know how long it's already been sitting on their shelves.
And at the same time, what's been happening to tobacco sales? Has there been a noticeable shift away from tobacco? I mean,
I wouldn't say there's been any more noticeable shift than what the general trend has been. So what we're looking at anything up to about 3% per year, aren't you, for tobacco falling, which is not fantastic for the tobacco companies, but great for the vape industry.
It's about lack of knowledge. There's no real knowledge out there like today. There's no knowledge. I don't know anywhere where you can buy a booklet that tells you what you need to know about vapes, how much you should sell them for, the relevant margins, what PD, VG, what short film means, what's an open, closed device. People don't know that. Like, you have to go out your way to learn that. So for me, it was like, it's an urgent thing that I have to learn, I have to get into and have to master, because I want to be on the edge of it. I want to take all that vape trade back, bring it into store.
We make about 60 to 70% margins on our vape, and that's even by undercutting the vape stores. And a lot of our products we do multi-buys as well to try and increase the spend by the customers, so you can get like 2 shortfalls for like £20.
We've talked about the convenience advantage. How would you go about getting vape into pharmacies?
There's a lot of barriers from pharmacists. Yes, they need to start having vapes. What I couldn't get in, and don't take this as criticism, they were very slow in the uptake of vape products, but they were very, very quickly, they took the uptake of CBD.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. So I'm Ed Merritt, I'm from JTI, I'm the Wholesale Symbol Sector Manager, and I now have the great opportunity to explain to you all why you should all be stocking Logic Compact. The number of vapers in the UK are up year on year. There's about 1.92 million vapers in the UK. The value of vapers as well is forecast to grow year on year as well.
Is your strategy moving forward just to invest in a closed system? Are you looking to
invest in open systems as well?
No. So we have a full portfolio. Obviously, we see that the trend is that people are more and more volume and value is moving to the closed systems.
Our last panel here is what we're calling the prediction panel.
Nicotine is addictive, but in relative addictiveness, it's no more addictive than the caffeine in coffee. What we do know is that nicotine does not cause cancer. That's what smoking does. Now the problem is, that's not a great message for the media. That's not what they focus in on. So what they focus in on is, this youth vaping epidemic, which thankfully we don't have in this country.
What we think is going to happen in the next few years is that we think that there's going to be a decline in actual vaping stores, and it's going to go into mainstream convenience and onto online, and also into supermarkets and mainstream retailers. So I think there's going to be a shift in the next few years. But the resistance, what we had in the first 2-3 years, has completely gone away. There's zero resistance now that we believe from anyone selling the product.
I think what we're hopeful for, and I'm going to use the B word, is if there is a Brexit and that the UK does move away from the European Union, that could release the UK government from some of the constrictions that are imposed by Brussels, which means anybody in the room that wanted to do any online marketing for their stores around e-cigarettes and vaping, wanted to make anything other than fairly bland factual statements, it's very tricky to do in the current regulatory environment. And as John alluded to, there was an e-cigarette inquiry by the UK's Science and Technology Committee earlier this year, I think. Yeah, and the findings from that was that they were very supportive of starting to relax some of those restrictions, particularly if you're going to try and move the dial in terms of educating smokers about the benefits that e-cigarettes can give them.
And if you grow your business, the suppliers and the wholesalers will work with you because it's going to grow their business and potentially very, very quickly. So the future is bright, the future is vape.